that the serve is the only skill in volleyball where one player has complete control of the ball? It's the foundation for every rally and can be a game changer if mastered. According to Lucas 1993, the serve is a method of throwing the ball and then hitting it over the net to start play. It is the only skill in volleyball in which the player has complete control of the ball. The server stands alone outside the court, waiting for a signal from the referee. So the serve is the action of putting the ball into play at the start of each point. The server hits the ball over the net, aiming to make it difficult for the receiving team to control. So imagine serving as the opening move in chess. You get to choose the first piece to move and set the pace for the game. In volleyball, the serve holds similar importance, initiating the point and giving the server a chance to surprise the opponents. The serve is extremely important because it's the only way to make points. It is necessary to do more than just get the ball over the net. Each player on the team should be able to place a serve accurately anywhere in the opponent's court. Anytime you can put the opponents on the defensive with your serve, you are that much closer to winning the game. So, a good serve isn't just about following the rules. It's about being tactical, like throwing a curveball in baseball. By targeting specific areas on the opponent's court, you can disrupt their reception and set your team up for a powerful attack. According to Edstrom and Skapsma, the first consideration when serving is to be aware of body position. The server must remain in the service area and may not step on a boundary line of that area. Avoiding service faults is of prime importance, and the best remedy for hitting a ball into the net, ceiling, or out of bounds is purposeful practice. Thinking through the entire serve, taking a good deep breath, exhaling half of it, and relaxing before executing the movement take just a few seconds and should result in a good serve accurately placed. So, imagine that you are serving with shaky hands or poor balance. It's tough to hit the target, right? So, serving requires focus and control. Practicing the entire sequence, including the deep breaths and staying relaxed, helps you execute the serve smoothly and strategically. Now, let's move forward to the types of serve. So, there are three types of serve in volleyball. First is the underhand serve, which is common for the beginners. Second is the overhand topspin, which is common serve for competitive volleyball. And the last one is the overhand float serve, which is also for competitive volleyball. The underhand serve is usually the first type of serve taught to a beginning player. This serve is a volleyball serve in which the ball is given a slight underhand toss from about waist high and then struck with a closed fist by the opposite hand. According to Edstrom and Skapsma, the underhand serve is a good consistent method for getting the ball over the net. However, it does not have the effects of the overhand serve because it is generally not difficult for the defense to receive and pass. It is easy to learn to place the underhand serve, but seldom does it put your opponents on the defensive, meaning it is not as powerful or surprising as other serves, making it easier for the defense to receive. Now, before executing the underhand serve, there are 7 preparations to keep in mind. First, your feet should be in comfortable stride. Second, your weight should be evenly distributed. Third, shoulders should square to net. Fourth, hold the ball at waist height or lower. Fifth, hold the ball in front of your body. Sixth, use open hand. And the last one is, your eyes should be on the ball. The overhand serve is done by tossing the ball up into the air, then strike it with the opposite hand above the shoulder. It is used by the majority of leading players because it can be placed accurately and if delivered correctly will float or wobble, putting the opponent on the defensive because he will have to make a quick adjustment to receive the ball. It often causes the receiver to make either an off-center or illegal pass. This method, preferred by top players, allows for precise placement and a floating effect that makes it hard for the opponent to receive, often leading to inaccurate or illegal passes. It's like a strategic opening move that throws other team off balance right from the start.
So, the next serve is a float serve. It is when the ball is hit without much spin, so it moves unpredictably. It's called float because it doesn't spin that much, making it hard for the receiver to know where it's going. So in volleyball, it is usually done with a straight arm and no spin on the ball. Then the next serve is a jump serve. In sports like volleyball, it is when the server jumps before hitting the ball. So this helps them hit the ball harder and faster, making it tougher for the other team to handle. So jump serves are used to be aggressive and keep the other team guessing, and they can have top spin or float depending on how the player hits the ball. Then last but not the least serve is the roundhouse serve. It is a type of serve where the server swings their arm in a circular motion in order to generate spin on the ball. So this spin can cause the ball to curve unpredictably as it travels through the air, making it more challenging for the receiving team to pass or receive the serve effectively. So in other words, it really requires good timing and technique to execute it properly.
Then, we have the pass in volleyball. First is the forearm pass. It is by using the flat part of your forearms to hit the ball, keeping your hands together, usually done to control and direct the ball to a teammate. Second is the overhead pass. It is by using your fingertips to push the ball overhead, commonly known as a set, allowing a teammate to attack the ball. Then, we have the back overhead passing. Back overhead passing is setting the ball behind you using your fingertips, useful when facing away from the net to assist a teammate. Then lastly, the dig. It is by using your arms and platform to defend against a spike ball, directing it upwards for your teammates to play, often performed close to the ground.
Now, let's talk about the spike. So the spike is a method of smashing the ball into the opponent's court. There is no other athletic skill in any sport quite like it. Why? Because when spiking, the player must hit the ball as hard as he can while in midair. And the spike also constitutes one of the most difficult acts to coordinate found in any sport. The player must be able to run, jump high, time a moving ball, hit it solidly, and at the same time, try to place it in a certain spot. Spiking is a spectacular skill to observe and even more spectacular to perform. There are three effective methods of attack in volleyball. The first one is the tip or dink. It is a soft, fingertip push of the ball from a spike approach. It is intended to surprise a defense that expects a hard-driven spike. Also, the tip is the easiest shot in volleyball. The second one is the off-speed spike. It is also the second option for the attacker. As indicated by its name, less than maximum force is imparted at contact. Like a tip, it is used to disrupt the timing patterns of the defensive team. Moreover, the off-speed spike is similar in effect to the tip, but it is hit deeper into the opponent's court. When the off-speed spike is executed, placement rather than power is emphasized. The attacker hopes to force the defensive player to move from the starting defensive position and make an error in attempting to play the ball. The third attack is the hard-driven spike. It is the most exciting play in volleyball. It is also one of the most difficult of all sport skills to learn. To make a successful hard-driven spike, you must jump into the air and sharply hit the ball over the net so that it lands within the court. Due to many variables associated with spiking, its timing is difficult and its success requires hours of practice.
In volleyball, there are two types of blocks. The first one is the single block. This is when one player jumps up the net to block the opposing team's attack. The goal is to prevent the ball from crossing the net and potentially score a point for your team. The second one is multiple blocks. This is when two or more players from the same team jump up at the net to block the opposing team's attack. Multiple blocks are often used against powerful hitters or in strategic situations to increase chances of stopping the ball. So, both single and multiple blocks are important to use, disrupt the opposing team's offense and gain an advantage in the game.